The Prendergast book actually came from my PhD thesis some time ago, and this was an opportunity for me to update that thesis, to transform it into a book and to publish it. So in terms of why I chose this topic, I wanted to look at the New Zealand legal profession and take a figure who was a complex, sophisticated figure, one that perhaps isn't particularly well regarded these days, and see why that is so and how things have changed over time. And Prendergast was the perfect person to choose, given his notoriety nowadays in relation to the Weed Parata decision and treaties a simple nullity quotation. What I wanted to do with the book is to say, yes, let's analyse this and the impact it had, but also remember that Prendergast was Chief Justice for 24 years. He was a hugely influential figure in so many different ways. He was Attorney General for 10 years before that. And to put a third dimension onto this person who had become a two-dimensional character, or caricature if you like. Yes, so in 1865 through to 1875, Prendergast is the Attorney General, and one of the roles he plays during that time is to be the government's legal advisor during the latter stages of the New Zealand Wars. So he's involved in basically those Te Kuti and Te Tikawaru campaigns, and often you'll see him giving quite hardline opinions to the government as to what to do with what he would describe as rebels. So part of his reputation as being hard on Māori, part of it comes from the New Zealand Wars and the other part comes from the Weed Parata decision. The Law Foundation has been very supportive of New Zealand law publications, but specifically New Zealand legal history, and there are other examples, but for my example, the Law Foundation was able to support me both in terms of research assistance to revise and update the book and undertake new research, and also to help with publication costs with the publisher Victoria University Press as well. But more widely, this work is important because we've got to be careful as a society that we don't treat history in simplistic terms, goodies and baddies, and that's just not a sophisticated way of approaching history. And Prendergast, more than anyone else in our legal history, has been treated that way. So while the book is in no way an apology for Prendergast, what it does seek to do is to provide more context to who he was, what he did, and tell more about the person. And without the Law Foundation supporting projects like this, which I think is fascinating, but there's always going to be a relatively limited audience for this kind of book. Without the Law Foundation, then these sort of books sometimes won't get published. So they're able to come on board and support not just the research involved in the book, but also can contribute to publication costs and make it easier for these dedicated publishers who do want to publish to do so.